Want to take your rhythm guitar playing to the next level? Well, in today's lesson, I'm going to show you two very powerful palm muting techniques that will instantly tighten up your guitar strumming sound and give you much more dynamic control. Let's dive in. Palm muting is one of the most effective tools for controlling your guitar's tone and adding a percussive punch to your rhythm playing. There are two main ways that you can use palm muting in your playing. The first way would be palm muted strumming. The second way would be palm muted rests. By the end of the lesson today, you're going to have a solid grasp on both of these techniques, and we're going to put them to work in a couple of really awesome songs. I want you to stick around to see which ones. I'm going to walk you through how exactly to play these songs. Let's kick things off with the palm muted strumming technique. Now, the idea with palm muted strumming is to lightly rest the palm of your hand on the strings near the bridge while you're strumming. This creates a muted percussive chunk that tightens up your rhythm and gives it much more control. You'll want to press just enough to mute the strings without completely choking out the song. Let me give you an example of how it works. I'll play the simple C chord here, and then when I add palm muting by taking the back of my hand, the back of my palm, and placing it just above the bridge, you can get a chunk sound out of that chord, right? It's important to know that when you're using this, you're going to have to fan these three fingers out to keep them from getting stuck in the strings. Also, we have limited motion now because we're muting these strings. We're not going to be able to strum as far as we normally do, so we're going to have a limited motion and strumming some of the chord, but not the whole entire chord. All right, now let's apply this technique to a song that really shows off how effectively this can be used. It's a great song. I'm going to play it for you, see if you can guess. Did you guess the song? It's a song called Lullaby by Sean Mullins, an excellent 90s hit. Let's learn it. All right, so let's start off with learning the chords for the song. We have a G5 chord, moving to a D chord, moving to a G5 with a B in the bass, moving to a C add 9. All right, so let me play it for you really slowly, and then we're going to play it together. Starting with a G5. 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and a 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and a... So going back to our palm muting, make sure your palm is going to be right in front of the bridge. Very lightly fan these three fingers out. And when we play this, because we have limited motion, we're going to be chunking the bottom two strings only. See that? Chunk, chunk. I'm going to count it out as a 1 and then the upper part of this is going to be down, down, up. You notice when I'm playing that I'm lifting my hand up. I'm not going to keep the mute down. So it's mute, mute, lift, down, up. Let's apply that to all the chords of the song. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. Chunk, chunk, lift, down, up, chunk, chunk, lift, down, up, chunk, chunk, lift, down, up, chunk, chunk, down. Let's play it again. I'm going to count the rhythm. 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and a 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and a... It's also worthy to note that as I'm chunking, when I'm muting, my pick is changing position. So for the G chord, I'm going to be chunking or muting strings 5 and 6. When I go to the D, my chunking is going to be strings 5 and 4. And I'm only chunking just a few strings, not all of them, right? It's a limited motion. When I go to the C add 9, the G with the G5 with the B in the bass, the same thing, strings 5 and 4. And then C add 9, same thing. All right, so let's move on to palm muted rest. Now this technique is all about muting the strings during the rest or the breaks in your rhythm. When you mute the strings between the notes and the chords, you create a rhythmic stop that adds tension and dynamics and adds to the groove. So I'm going to take a G chord, I'm going to take a C chord right now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate this. So I'm going to play a pattern of down, up, 1 and 2 and, but I'm going to add a palm muted rest in there on beat 2. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and... Notice I'm not hitting the strings. I'm bringing the pick down below that first string, but I'm muting in place of a strum. All right, let's learn a great song that uses this technique. I'm going to play it for you, see if you can guess it. So maybe you guessed it, maybe you didn't. For some of my older students, you're going to know it right away. It's the 70s hit Night Moves by Bob Seger. Let's go through the chords first. The chords for the song would be a G chord, which is using fingers 3 and 4, going to an F chord, which is going to be not barred. We're going to use our thumb. Do your best to try to use your thumb for this chord. If you can't, then using fingers 3, 4, and 2 works just the same. And then we're going to move to a C chord. All right, so let's learn this song. I think it's important with this song that we count it out. I'm going to play it slowly and count it so you can hear what part of the beat that these rests happen on. Let's play it together really slowly after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1. Now I'm going to play this again. We're going to play it again, but I'm going to point out where the rests are instead of counting the numbers of the beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mute, up, down, mute, up, down, mute, up, mute, up, mute, up, down, mute, up, down, mute, up, down, mute, up, up. All right, so if you're still struggling with these techniques, know that it does take practice, and here's a couple of tips that will help you out. So for palm muted strumming, make sure that your palm is resting lightly on the strings just above the bridge, but not pressing too hard. You want a clean percussive chunk, not a fully muffled sound. Now for palm muted rest, focus on muting during the breaks between the notes. If you're not hearing the notes in the desired space, try muting a bit harder on each chord. It's all about creating that rhythmic pause. And there you have it, 2 powerful palm muting techniques that will take your rhythm playing to the next level. So whether you're using palm muting strumming to tighten up your rhythm or palm muted rest to add dynamic space, these techniques will instantly improve your playing. Try them out in the 2 songs that we've learned today. Practice these 2 songs, Lullaby and Night Moves. Let me know how it goes in the comments. And if you found this lesson helpful, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more guitar tips. And by the way, there are a few other songs that are great examples of this. I can think of Last Dance with Mary Jane by Tom Petty's great, Meet Virginia by Train, and an awesome song, Ohio by Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Thank you for joining me today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson. Take care.